Hey you, hey everyone, hi guys. I think as I continue this journey, I will find what is my favorite greeting to greet you guys. But welcome to Mind Matters Over Chatter. My name is Cynthia Thuo. I am a medical psychology student and I study at Moi University. And I hope I finish this degree before it finishes me. But I am happy to be here, happy to invite you to walk this journey with me on talking about mental health issues and why it's important to talk about it. Um, Part of me starting this podcast was from a testimony of my own journey with mental health. I fell into depression. I was actually diagnosed with depression last year, the year 2024, yes. And it was an interesting journey, if I could say it was. It started with withdrawal. I noticed I didn't enjoy being in social circles. I didn't want to be with people around me. I did not want people around me. I did not want to be around people. I did not want to go to social gatherings. And then it followed. What followed after that was the intense sadness and the feeling of hopelessness and inability to just get out of it, because you can just wake up and get out of it, but I was unable to. And along the way I got into a relationship that didn't really go as I would have expected it to, and it also contributed to the many problems that were affecting my mental health. um, and as the year went by, things got from worse to worse. And being in the relationship, my social circle reduced. And I also did not want to feel like I wanted to burden my partner then with the emotional burden I was going through, that I was carrying all through. So I tend to keep quiet with the issues I go through. And to top it all off, is it even top it all off? To add insult to the injury, familial issues added to the number of my afflictions. So issues with family conflict, finances, they precipitated the issue. So I got to a point where things were not moving. Uh, Personally, my spiritual journey with God was not moving. My relationship was suffering its own challenges. And then school and academics was another burden to add on top of it. And it was just getting from worst to worst. And I just didn't know how to deal with it. I just didn't know how to go about it. And interestingly, is I'm a psychologist. I have done the basic. By the time I'm in second year, I have done the basics of what mental illness is and abnormal behavior look like, but I was not able to identify it. But the time I knew that things were not okay was the time I started being comfortable with the idea of death. I started thinking, what if I died? What if it all ended? But it was just an idea. That's what we call suicidal ideation. It was just an idea. It was in my head that, what if I just ended it all? What if it just ended? I never verbalized it. I never moved into action. And that was around August. And then from then on, things would pile up and I would get emotionally low. I remember our school had a strike, so we were forced to go home. And when I went home, I noticed now, that is when I noticed that things were not okay. I would stay in my room the whole day. I could not get out of bed. I'm a clean freak. I love cleaning. I just generally love cleaning. But in that period, I didn't want to even clean myself or take a shower. And my family would be like, "What's wrong? What's happening with you? You went to campus and changed. You become a different person." and I couldn't even wake up to do the chores. I remember I would tell my younger sister at that time, help me do this, help me do that. I would stay in my room, in a dark room, very dark room with the lights off. I was binge watching Netflix, and I was and things, and I would stay in my room and just have an emotional outburst and cry and cry and cry. And I knew things were not okay. At some point, I almost knew I wanted to be hospitalized. I wanted to go to a hospital and actually get help in terms of medication and also therapy. But I couldn't do that because of financial constraint. So I decided to figure out a way how I can get myself out of it. So what now? The 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 climax of all the tribulations I was going through was this day that the finances were so bad and I could not be able to keep my house in campus. So I remember my roommate then called my partner and told him to come and put my things out of the house. And when I went to tell my parents that I didn't actually tell my parents when my things were put out, I just told them that this girl was threatening to put my things out of the house. They uh, with all respect, I'd say they did not deal with me with gentleness. Um, I was crying, I was sobbing. Those seasons, I would sob a lot. I was unable to even speak. So how I could release what I was feeling was I would cry and sob. And they were like, "No, she can't put out." But I knew she had put them out. But I did not tell my parents that she had put my things out of the house. And so I remember I got tired because on this side, my dad was angry that I was crying. And on this side, my mom, as the lion she is, uh, dealing with issues, she was bulldozing and she's like, no, she cannot put her. She was not being gentle with me. I just felt fed up and I was like, what is the point of living? And at that point, I knew I was going to take my life. And I made peace with dying. And I made peace that maybe I may not meet my maker, but wherever I go, it's better to go away than to just stay in this world. And I did attempt. Luckily, my partner then went ahead to call my sister, who called my mom, and they all read the alarm. And even after me attempting, uh, some people in my family did not deal with that issue really well. Well, the women in my family dealt it with gentleness. They asked me what's wrong, what has gotten to that point, and I think at some point they thought it was relationship issues that had made me want to kill myself. But it was just not that. It was not only that, and sometimes mental issues don't have to just be caused by one thing. I could say it was medical, it was biological, and then the issues of life, and all of them came together to just cause me distress. And so they took me out and talked to me, and I would go on ahead to find a way to heal myself. And when I came back to school, I did go for a couple of therapy sessions, and healing was not instantaneous as I thought it would be. I went on to find out that I would take almost 6 months to heal and find a way to cope with the depression. And when it comes, I do go to the hospital, take medication, and go for therapy. I talk to the people around me. I decided not to find a healing one way, but to bring it all together, heal in every way I can, whether it was connecting with God, whether it was connecting with friends, whether it was doing it by medication and therapy. Find healing in every possible way I can. So before all the whole depression started, I had thought of starting the podcast, and I was very enthusiastic. But I think there was a place of having a personal testimony into actually going into it, because now when I was now in recovery in the earlier months of this year, I was like, I should actually do this now, because I have a personal testimony, I have a personal touch. I don't look just at the problems that people go through with harshness, but I have a sort of gentleness because I have gone through it myself. And that is what that is why I came up with this idea of the podcast and revived it again, because now after the whole season of hopelessness, I had to find something to give life to my testimony and my story. And before that, I did not have a very good name for the podcast. I didn't love the name. I will not even say it. It was not good. It was not interesting. But when I revived the dream, I decided, you know what? Let's go. Mind matters. It could be mind matters or mind matters. Your mind matters over the noise that is around you, over what people say, because you could go on social media and listen to people say different things, and it could be so much information that is not useful. So beyond that noise, beyond what people are saying out there, beyond the opinions that people give, what really matters, what is the truth? Because as a scientist, I believe in knowing the facts, what is true, what is not true, and how can we consolidate all this information to better our lives as human beings. So that is the birth of Mind Matters Over Chatter. It's a place where we structure these thoughts, we do not jumble information, we structure them, and then we bring them to the context of us being Africans. I think throughout me studying psychology up to the point I've noticed most examples we read from the books, and even the books that we have, are all ideas and are all based on the experiences of the Western world. Well, it's not wrong to discount the fact that their research has gone to help us understand mental health, but they are contextual problems that are of us, which are different from what they go through, because we are in two different geographic places with different cultures and different opinions. And so how can we understand mental health as Africans? How can we understand mental health as Kenyans? And how can we now move from a place of self-awareness to just a place of knowing that this is wrong, that abuse is wrong, that trauma isn't right, and that this isn't right, to actually move from a place of self-awareness to a safe place of healing? How can we eliminate stigma? How can we know the facts and help people have a safe space where they can actually talk about their issues without shame, without fear, that I could actually talk about my journey with depression and suicide without feeling like someone is judging me or making me make my problem feel small? So that is the birth of Mind Matters Over Chatter, and I hope you walk this journey with me as we better our mental health. And this is not just for me to dispense information to you, but it is also a way of me to improve on what I know, refine the skills that I have developed across the years, and actually do better with myself. Yes. And it has grounded me in my career, because if I think about it, when I got into doing medical psychology, it's like, this is an interesting course, we'll be helping people. But actually going through an issue, it actually makes it so personal that it's not just like I'll be helping people, I'll be just, giving you information. It comes from my heart. It stems from within me. It's not just about knowledge and theories and academia. It comes to a personal point where people need help. People are going through various issues. And if I have the information and more so the experience and the heart to help them, then why not speak about it? Why not create a platform where we can actually explore these things in a safe environment that fosters growth. So welcome again to Mind Matters Over Chatter. This is the space where we silence the noise, we quiet the chatter, and we tune into what really matters, and that is your mental well-being, my mental well-being. Walk this journey with me as we better ourselves. And as we will always be saying in this podcast, always remember to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth.